Hey, what is going on, folks? It's Jacob coming at you with another video. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about, unfortunately, why so many course creators struggle and ultimately fail, okay? It all comes back to the fact that they simply can't crack it when it comes to selling enough of their information products. And as someone who's sold a lot of information online and helps other people do this, there's two major things that I want to bring your attention to so that maybe you know someone who's struggling with this, or maybe you're struggling with this, and it can help you avoid it. It can help you fix it ASAP. And these aren't going to be the standard tip. You got to fix your Facebook ads or get this new funnel or none of that shit. Right? This goes deeper. You know, when you really understand marketing and strategic marketing and selling stuff online, you realize that it's not the platform, it's not the funnel, it's none of that shit. There's a deeper level of thinking. There's the psychology that goes into all of it that is what really, really matters, okay? And what I want to talk to you about in this video is two of the big issues that I see with aspiring info marketers, course creators. And then this extends to people selling coaching, consulting, events even, digital affiliate products, info marketing in general, okay? And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Before we jump into that, head over to jacobcaris.com, subscribe to our daily email newsletter. It's free. I talk all about info marketing and how we've built our business and what we're doing to scale our business, and you'll get emails from me each day if that's something that is of interest to you. jacobcaris.com, you can subscribe to that list. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and if you get any value from it or you just want to help us out with the YouTube algorithm, click that big like button. That would be much appreciated, okay? So the very, very first thing that I see people struggling with, or I see struggling course creators and info marketers not doing particularly well, is they don't quite realize the business that they're actually in. And this isn't something that I realized immediately. This is something that took me a while to realize, but when it clicked, it changed a lot, okay? It changed a lot. And that is that they're trying to compete purely selling the information in their course, or the information that they coach on, or the information that they mentor people on, right? Or the information that their event is about. They try to compete on, what essentially becomes a commodity. Because, look, you might be really, really special. It's getting my sunnies a bit bright outside. You might be very, very special and you might have a unique way of doing things, but you're making life really fucking hard for yourself if you're just trying to compete on that same stuff. How to grow a Facebook group, how to, sell this, how to do that, how to do this, how to jump higher, how to play basketball. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of people normally teaching what you do, and you may be very, very good at it, but it's not the person that's the best at what they do that gets paid the most. It's the person that's the best at marketing and selling it that gets paid the most. And there is a hell of a lot of power and a big lesson in what I just said right there, okay? And that may not sit well with you. If you're the type of person who doesn't like marketing, who doesn't like salespeople, who doesn't like the concept of selling, that's not going to sit well with you. You're going to think that's unethical. You're going to think that's not right. But unfortunately, the reality is that's the way the world goes around, and that's what happens, okay? Let me repeat it. It's not the person that's the best at what they do. It's the person that's the best at marketing and selling what they do, right? That's what's going to get you paid more. And the core lesson there is you're not in the business of selling courses. You're in the business of selling you. If you're a personal brand who creates videos or has a Facebook group or does whatever, and you are the brand, you're selling you. And I don't know how that sits with you, but it's a realization that when fully understood is very, very powerful, okay? Because if you fully embrace that and you are a brand that becomes truly you, and you stop trying to be like everybody else, or stop trying to just sell and promote based on the raw information value of what you've got, it's pretty liberating. And you can kind of go out there and do whatever the fuck you want to do and test stuff, and try things that other people are saying, oh, you can't do that, this is how you have to do it. And a lot of the times you're going to be pretty surprised at what happens. you're going to be pretty surprised at what happens. Because you're someone now who's not just following the masses. You're someone now who's not just another sheep, right? You're going out there and you're being a leader, okay? And in a game where you're selling information, here's a massive tip. It's not the experts getting paid. It's the leaders. It's the leaders. It's the person who can stand at the front and rally the troops and get them to come together around a common goal, a common objective, moving in a common direction, fighting against a common problem, working towards a common solution. That's the person that gets paid. And the person that can inspire a group of people to take action around that is the one who's going to get paid over and over again and get paid a lot of money. Look, if you want to compete on how to do XYZ, that's fine. It's fine. You'll probably still make a bit of money, but you're making it harder for yourself than it needs to be. Okay? You're making it harder for yourself than it needs to be. So rather than studying the latest funnel, rather than studying the latest Facebook ad hack, start studying branding and psychology around leadership and around what makes people motivated to kind of follow along with you and how you position yourself as a person that they're going to want to follow. Because if you do that and you start doing that in your content and you do that repeatedly, it makes the pitch a lot easier. Okay? So that's on the front end. That's on the front end. That's the marketing. That's where I see people going wrong with their marketing. They don't realize what business they're in, and they just purely try and compete on value, how to, right? Who can give away more free stuff? Who can give away the most free lead magnets? Who can give away their soul for free the most amount of times in a week, whatever it may be, right? One little, even if you don't like what I'm saying and you don't want to go into, I'm not doing that. I'm above that. I'm not going to sell myself, so to speak. Even if you don't want to go down that path and you don't want to accept that what I'm telling, look at that sunset. That is a cracker. That is sensation. You can see how bright it is over there. Probably just blinded you on your computer screen. Sorry about that. I love the color that pops up over the water. It's really cool. Even if you don't want to accept any of that and you're like, Jacob, that's not me. I'm not a marketer. I'm not a salesperson. I just want to share my little old course with people for $200, which is probably another problem is that you're selling it for $200. But that's all I want to do. Then just do this for me. Just so you get something out of this video before we get on to number 2. Is in your content, assuming you're creating content or in your ads or whatever it is that you're doing to sell or to market rather, and to attract the attention of new people, is stop just talking about how to do stuff, right? Stop just talking about how to do stuff, because the people that you're attracting are the wrong type of people. They're not buyers, right? You can have some how-to stuff like I have some how-to stuff, but you don't want that to be all that you create, because all you're attracting is people who want a free solution, and your solution's not free. It's not free, okay? And just because you overwhelm people with so much amazing value, that doesn't mean that they're going to buy from you. It's not the way that it works. It's not the way that it works. You might stumble across some buyers because you're willing to give everything away for free, but it's not repeatable and not at the scale you want. So do this for me. Do this for me right now. Look at what you sell. Look at your product. Look at whatever problem it is that it fixes, okay? Then go look at your market, your niche, your industry, whatever you call it, right? And look at the differences. What is it that everybody out there is banging on about? They're going, this is what you have to do, this is what you have to do, this is what you have to do, this is what you have to do. And then look at where yours is different. Look at the stuff that you know that is being said in the market that is bullshit, right? And if you want to have some fun, you can go dig through my old videos and find out what they are, right? Look at what's being said in the market that you know is bullshit. Look at your product and where it differs and start highlighting that to people. Start highlighting that to people. Because if you start getting out there and going, you've been told this, this is actually the truth, and if you want to dive into this deeper, buy my thing, what's going to happen is you're going to start bringing more people towards you who you set off light bulbs for. They're going to go, holy shit, that is true. I was just kind of believing that other thing because that's what I'd been hearing from everybody. And on the flip side, you're going to push people away who can't let go of that truth. Or maybe they had an experience and they were one of the few, right? But if you don't want to fully buy into what I'm talking about, how you have to be, realizing that it's the marketing and the sales and you're in the business of selling you, at the very least do that, right? At the very least do that step today, which is make a list of all the stuff being said in the market, the commonly held truths, and then make a list about what your product is all about and find those incongruencies and start hammering them in your marketing. You don't need that many. You only need a couple, and you can really start hammering them home. And you're going to start to split your audience. You're going to push people away, absolutely. But if all you're attracting is freebie seekers now anyway, that's fine. But you're going to bring those people who you set off light bulbs for closer, and they will buy. Okay? They will buy. So that's the first one. The next one is if we can fix up your marketing a little bit, and if you take that tip on board, that'll help a lot. If you take the first part on about really embracing the fact that you're selling you and becoming a desirable brand and a leader, you'll massively help your marketing. But then it's more, okay, I've attracted some people, they're buying into me and my way of doing things, and I'm stepping up to the plate and I'm becoming a leader and I'm stopping to compete on raw value and giving my soul away to everybody for free and all that kind of stuff that Jacob said in point one. The next part that I see is their offers are bland. Their offers are bland. They manage to get some attention, they manage to move people towards a decision, but then they see it and they're like, oh fuck, this is like, burnt toast with nothing on it. It's just not desirable. Okay? So that's the second thing I want you to fix up. If you can step into the shoes of being a leader, fully embrace that what you're actually selling, and then pair that with a truly kick-ass, unique offer that makes people go, fuck, that's unique, and I would be an idiot not to buy this thing, that's when you're going to start selling stuff like hotcakes. And that's when you can start, massively increasing your prices very, very quickly. And so a couple of tips around doing that. One is, where does your offer come from, right? Like, what's the backstory? Not many people tell a good backstory around where their offer comes from, and you would be shocked how powerful it is. If you can even find one thing for people to latch onto in that backstory, you are massively increasing the chances of them buying, because you're giving them something tangible to grab onto, where everyone else is just like, want my course. You're giving them something to buy into, okay? The other things that you can start looking into with your offer, get into the strategy, right? Pricing strategy. Are you meeting them at the table from a risk perspective, right? Are you giving them payment options? Are you giving them the option to potentially split the payments now and later, right? Are you showing them how the value is so much bigger than what they're actually paying, right? And are you giving them some kind of explanation around what the difference is and why you're doing it at a discount? When you're looking at your offers, put yourself in your customer's shoes and go, is this desirable, right? Are there any holes in this? Are you putting any guarantees on there? How are you taking the risk off the table for them, right? And there's going to be times where you want to do this and there's going to be times where you don't. But that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is to look at your offer and think, how can I make this more desirable? And that doesn't necessarily mean just adding more and more and more and more and more stuff, which is what a lot of people do, right? It's about giving it a backstory and a reason that you're selling it, and making sure that you're really highlighting the problems that you're solving for people, and that those problems are present and they've got their hair on fire, and you're showing them, here's a solution you can act on now, and then presenting it in a way that takes the risk off the table. And they're going, well, I've got this problem. I would be an idiot if I didn't act on this right now. Okay? If you can take those two things from this video and you can embrace the fact that you're not just selling a course, you're selling yourself, and you've got to get people to rally behind you as a leader and as a brand, and then you can take a long, hard look at your offer and actually really, really spice it up and make it super enticing, very low risk, right? An absolute no-brainer for people. Two things are going to happen. One, you're going to sell a hell of a lot more of it, and you're going to sell it a lot easier, right? We've been experimenting with some super simple sales process over in my Facebook group and selling stuff for like $6,000 a head with like a little Google Doc. And it just blows the concept of, you know, all these long sales process to smithereens because they're not necessary when the brand's on point and when the offer's on point. Okay? There's a couple of things to think about for the course creators, info marketers out there who might be struggling. Seriously, think about this stuff, embrace it and implement it. And I know you do really, really well. Okay? Head over to jacobcaris.com, subscribe to the newsletter. I'll talk to you all soon. Cheers.